tetap percaya siapa Yesus. Anak sudah mati, percaya. Anak masih sakit, percaya. Many times we think that we will only believe when the sick is healed, and then that's time for me to believe. But Jesus was saying, even if your daughter is dead, keep believing. Yesus bukan hanya bilang, Jesus will not only believe, say, oh you believe in me, believe what I can do. Jesus is not only talking about it. Dia bukan hanya ngomong doang. He do something about it. Baik, kita memasuki second part ya. How do we experience God here with us? Bagaimana kita mengalami Allah yang beserta dengan kita? Ya, kita sudah berbicara bagaimana sin has separated us. Dosa telah memisahkan kita, but God has always take the first step. Langkah pertama untuk dapat menjangkau manusia selalu siapa yang buat? Allah yang buat ya. Allah yang buat. Many times we feel like, oh, we are struggling with our spiritual life. We think that God is far away. Kita bergumul dengan kehidupan rohani kita. Tuhan itu jauh dari kita. But the truth is, He has been knocking at the door. Dia selalu apa? Dia sedang apa? Mengetuk pintu kita. He's been knocking. We thought we have Him. Kita pikir kita memiliki Dia. But the truth is, He was outside. Dia ada di mana ya? Dia ada di luar. And He wanted to be with us. Dia ingin supaya kita bersama-sama dengan Dia. Itu kerinduan Allah kita ya. And that was His desire. Has always been His desire. Pada saat Adam dan Hawa jatuh dalam dosa, siapa yang duluan datang kepada Adam dan Hawa? Adam dan Hawa cari-cari Tuhan. When Adam and Eve they fell into sin, who made the first initiative to approach and to reach them? God. Allah yang datang kepada mereka. So, we should not question. Kita jangan pernah bertanya whether God, are you really want to be with us? Apakah Tuhan engkau ingin bersama-sama dengan kita? Well, of course we have been searching God. Kita mencari tentang Tuhan dan our search bring us to what book in the book of New Testament that we have been studying? Di buku apa? Sabat lalu, last Sabbath we discussed about it. What book? The book of Mark. Okay? We study the book of Mark because of the significances that were there. Ada hal-hal yang sangat signifikan yang ada di buku Markus. Normally the book of Mark is so short. Biasanya buku Markus itu sangat apa ya? Singkat. But when we talk about the madman of Gadara, pada saat kita berbicara tentang orang gila dari Gadara, it was one of the longest in the gospel. In the book of Mark, supposedly the shortest book. The shortest story is found in the book of Mark, but somehow, kisah kita Sabat lalu, our story last Sabbath, they are the longest. And now, for the second, we'll see what is so significant with this second story. Bagian kedua dari kitab Markus. Let us read. This is our searching and our effort to search God. Usaha kita untuk mencari Tuhan. Let us read after Gadara. Now, when? Sesudah Yesus menyeberangi lagi dengan perahu. When Jesus had crossed over again by boat. He was in apa? Tempat madman of Gadara. And now he returned back. He returned back to the Jewish people. Yeah, it was in the pagan people. Yeah, the madman of Gadara. And now crossed again. We finish until Mark 5:20 last Sabbath ya. Pada saat Yesus menyeberang lagi dengan perahu, orang banyak berbondong-bondong datang lalu mengerumuni Dia. Great multitude gathered to Him. Jesus was like a magnet. Yesus seperti magnet, orang-orang datang aja. Ya. He was like a magnet. People came. And behold, verse 22. And behold, one of the rulers of the synagogue came, Jairus by name. Dan datanglah seorang kepala rumah ibadat yang bernama Jairus, ya. Ketika ia melihat Yesus, tersungkurlah ia di depan apa? Kakinya. When he saw him, he fell at his feet. And what is so significant about this second story? It is so significant because the book of Mark normally do not mention the name of the people. The name of the disciples, yes, but not the name of the people. Yeah, the madman of Gadara, a woman that has been bleeding for so and so years. Biasanya tidak sebut nama orang-orang. Bilangannya orang gila yang ada di Gadara, orang kerasukan setan di Gadara, wanita yang mengalami pendarahan. Never mention a name, but this is the only one. This is the only one. Inilah satu-satunya kisah di mana a name was mentioned and Jairus by name was mentioned. He was what? What was his occupation? Apa pekerjaannya Jairus ini? Rulers of the what? Rulers of the synagogue. Ketua jemaat mungkin. Yeah, he was not like the rabbi, he was not like the a teacher or something. No, he was not. But he was the ruler, he was the one ketua satu di jemaat. Chief of the synagogue. Chief of the synagogue. Why this is so significant? Because the chief of synagogue, the synagogue in Jesus' time is a community center. Itu adalah pusat komunitas. So people who are in need, they came to synagogue. Kalau orang-orang ada kebutuhan, mereka akan datang kemana? Ke synagogue. When people need help that they cannot find with their family, they go to synagogue. Kalau saat mereka membutuhkan sesuatu, mereka datang kemana? Ke synagogue. So when people in need, they go to Jairus. Yeah. They go to Jairus. Yeah. Kalau orang membutuhkan. Why would he came to Jesus? Kenapa dia harus datang kepada Yesus? Kenapa dia harus menyembah? Apa? Orang Yahudi, they don't just normally, bow down or fell at people's feet. Orang Yahudi itu keras sekali hukum. Jangan ada padamu ada ilah apa ya? Ilah lain. Do not worship any other god. You're supposed not to bow down to creature. So the fact that Jairus fell at his feet pada saat dia tersungkur di depan kakinya, he acknowledged Jesus as Messiah. He acknowledged there is something in his mind. Dia pikirkan Yesus adalah apa ya? Somebody. Bukan guru biasa. Jesus, somebody. So why would he fell at his feet? Kenapa dia harus tersungkur di depan kaki Yesus? Let us continue reading. 23-24. I'll be reading in English. Maybe yang ada bisa baca Indonesia ya. And beg him. Jairus beg him. Memohon apa? Meminta-minta. Beg him earnestly saying, my little daughter lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her that she may be healed and she will live. So Jesus went with him. Anak perempuanku sedang sakit hampir mati, datanglah letakkan tanganmu atasnya supaya ia selamat dan tetap hidup. Lalu pergilah Yesus dengan orang itu. There was a serious need. Ada kebutuhan yang sangat serius. That requires specific request. And Jairus was asking a personal audience with Jesus. Come to my house. Dia minta supaya Yesus apa ya? Dapat datang ke rumahnya. I want to be with you. I want you to come to me. I want you to come to my house. Saya mau engkau datang ke rumahku. Ya. Kira-kira ayat ini katakan apa? Oh, Yesus sibuk ya, nggak mau pergi dia. No. And Jesus went with him. Jesus never turned people away. Jesus will never say, no, your sin, you're too much. You're leader of the Jew. Most of you are against me. I don't want to be with you. Yesus bukan tolak-tolak. When Jesus met with the madman of Gadara, our story last Sabbath, it was an intentional plan of Jesus to meet with that madman of Gadara. Itu adalah satu hal yang memang Yesus sudah rencanakan untuk bertemu. The disciples were afraid. Maybe they were staying in the boat. Mereka murid-murid lain mungkin tinggal di perahu, tapi Yesus lain turun dan bertemu dengan orang gila tersebut. Dan saat ini juga Yesus bukan tolak-tolak dia. Ya. When people wants to search him, pada saat orang mencari Yesus, when people wants to have a closer relationship with Jesus, pada saat orang ingin mencari satu perhubungan persahabatan dengan Yesus, he never turned them away. Dia tidak pernah membiarkan apa? Membiarkan mereka. Ya. Jesus will never turn away our neediness. Yesus tidak pernah mengeluarkan kita dari kondisi kita yang menginginkan sesuatu, khususnya hubungan dengan dia. When we draw near to Jesus, he will draw near to us. Remember, he's been knocking, ya. He's been knocking. Dan ini satu tema bukan hanya waktu dalam Yesus ya. Kalau kita lihat buku Yakobus, in the book of James ya. Yakobus 4 ayat 8. Mendekatlah kepada Allah dan ia akan apa? Mendekat kepadamu. Come near to God. And He will come near to us. Mungkin ada katakan, pendeta, pastor, when Jairus wanted to meet with Jesus, isn't it because of a selfish motive? It's not because of love, isn't it? He doesn't say that he loved Jesus and he wants to be with Jesus. Because ada maunya, because he wants something to happen. Ada maunya, anaknya supaya apa ya? Sembuh. Many people think that, we need to come to Jesus only when we really have a pure heart. When we really have, love to Him, great love to Him. Sometimes Jesus allow people come to Him with wrong motives or not with a pure motive in a sense. Whatever motivation, He will come. And whatever, if the motivation is wrong, He will correct it. Kalau motivasi kita untuk bertemu dengan Dia salah, Dia akan benarkan. Many people want to see Jesus because they want to eat food. Banyak orang datang kepada Yesus karena bukan potluck, tapi ya karena ada makanan yang dia mau apa ya? Dia mau berikan. But the point is, whatever it is, Jesus want us to come to Him. Even if you want the bread or fish that Jesus will give, no problem. Come to me. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So whatever we need, whatever motivation we have, whatever need we have, Mazmur 70 ayat 5 katakan apa? In Psalms 70 verse 5, but I am poor and needy. Make haste to me, O God. You are my help and my deliverer. O Lord, do not delay. Inilah suara tangisan setiap umat manusia ya. Aku yang sengsara atau sebenarnya needy, membutuhkan, aku yang membutuhkan, aku miskin. Segeralah datang, Engkaulah yang menolong aku dan meluputkan aku ya Tuhan. Janganlah lambat datang. And that was the need of Jairus. Itulah kebutuhan daripada Jairus. Dia mau supaya Yesus cepat datang. Jesus, come quickly, my daughter is dying. Don't delay. Don't delay. But what happened? Was there a delay? Did Jesus go straight to the house of Jairus? Apa Yesus langsung pergi ke rumahnya Jairus? Tiba secepatnya di rumah Jairus? Did he? Apa itu yang Yesus alami? Janganlah lambat seperti teriakan pemazmur, itulah teriakan Jairus. Well, look. Mark 5:20, tadi sudah kita baca James, lalu Psalms. And Mark 5:24 katakan apa? Markus 5 ayatnya 24 kemudian katakan apa? So Jesus went with him and a great multitude followed him and thronged him. Banyak orang yang berbondong-bondong dikatakan apa ya? Berdesak-desakan di dekatnya. Pada saat kita ingin bertemu dengan Tuhan, kadang-kadang ada banyak penghalang-penghalang. When we try to meet with Jesus, there will be many barriers. Yeah, maybe it's not only about works. Yeah, many people think, I cannot come to church because I have to work on Sabbath and so on. It could be arranged, it could be. But what could be the biggest barrier when people don't want to come to church? Apa kira-kira yang membatasi orang untuk datang kepada Yesus? People. Other people. Orang lainnya. Yeah. In searching God, sometimes we have to meet barriers. Dan itu adalah orang-orang yang berdesak-desakan di dekat daripada Yesus. The word throng is coming from the Greek word, ya, sunt libo. Ditekan dari semua sisi, dikerumuni. The people were pressed on all sides, crowd upon Jesus. Berjalan, tidak bisa lagi jalan ya. We went to New York to see the Christmas tree, and at the back of that Christmas tree in tempat apa itu? Rockefeller, itu ada juga gedung di belakangnya itu, the building up at the back is when people can see the show of light show ya. There was a time when we went to that place after we we left the tree and we want to see the light show. Pada saat kami ingin pergi ke light show di belakang daripada Rockefeller Center, the Christmas tree itu, lot of people packed. I hold my wife, but everybody just berdesak-desakan, just like a viral video from Japan. Yeah, the conductor is not going to check your ticket inside the train, a subway. The conductor will only push people, so people will all be together, desak-desakan. Ya. Itu bukan suami istri atau apa, semua kayak ikan sardin dia mah, like a sardine, pressed around. Yeah, pressed around. So, people were crowding about Jesus. Orang apa? Berdesak-desakan. And we know, after this, the story suddenly paused. The plan was for Jesus to go quickly. Rencananya supaya Yesus itu pergi secepatnya kemana? Ke rumah daripada Jairus. But because of this, it was stopped. And there was another event that took place. Ada peristiwa apa yang kemudian terjadi pada saat itu? Ada wanita yang mengalami pendarahan sekian berapa? 12 tahun. 12 years the woman had a flow of blood for 12 years. And when she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. And we know the story, ya. Orang wanita ini apa? Pegang jubah daripada Yesus. And what did Jesus do? Jesus said, no. I'm too busy. I have to go to Jairus. He asked me first. He's the first priority. Was that the thing that Jesus said? Yesus katakan, saya nggak mau dengan sembuhkan kamu. Prioritas saya ini ke Jairus. Apa yang dia buat? We know the story. We all know the story, ya. And he said to the woman, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your affliction. Waduh. Kalau Anda jadi wanita itu, Anda akan apa? Puji Tuhan, haleluya. Tapi kalau Anda Jairus, how do you feel? Lord, what about me? Bagaimana dengan saya? Ya? Bagaimana dengan saya? He could be frustrated with all the barriers, with the disturbances, and all the delay because time is of an essence. Waktu itu sangat apa? Berharga. They should not be delayed. Mereka harus apa? Terhalang. And the delay was not only frustrating to him. Keterlambatan tersebut bukan hanya membuat dia frustrasi, but fatal. Apa? Fatal keterlambatan tersebut. Why fatal? Ini kan sudah ayat 34 ya. Now, after a little bit pause, setelah dia berhenti sedikit, back to Jairus. The story back to Jairus. Maybe next time we talk about this women ya. But go back to Jairus. What happened to Jairus? Ayat 34, verse 34. Now we read verse 35. While he was still speaking, Jesus was still speaking to who? To the woman. Some came from the ruler of the synagogue's house who said, your daughter is dead. Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further? Anakmu sudah mati. Apa perlunya lagi engkau menyusahkan guru? Pengharapannya hancur ya. The hope is now crushed. Can you imagine the feeling of Jairus because of the crowd and the delay? The frustration that has now turned fatal? Frustrasi yang sekarang sudah fatal akibatnya? Our searching for God, sometimes not only we face barrier. When we try to be spiritual again, not only people can be barrier, but also disappointing. Disappointment can happen. Lord, why you heal other and my daughter died? Are you only concerned with other and you do not concern with me? Yeah. And when we search God, pada saat kita mencari Tuhan, kekecewaan datang, kita pikir Tuhan hanya lebih peduli orang lain. Yeah. What about my need? Kebutuhan saya. And we have to see here that our personal searching of God, kehidupan kerohanian yang lebih baik yang harus kita miliki, kadang-kadang pada saat kita mencari kehidupan kerohanian itu, we don't always get the good result in an instant. Kita bukan sedang masak super mie di sini. Bukan sedang masukkan popcorn di microwave yang pop 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 pop. No. This is our searching for a better relationship with God. Usaha kita untuk mencari satu hubungan dengan Tuhan itu may not always give us the result that we have in mind. Bagi Jairus, anak yang sakit sembuh. Anaknya mati, kacaulah si siapa? Kacaulah si Jairus. Ya. Kacaulah si Jairus. Ya. Well, itulah yang sedang terjadi ya. This is what happen ya. When people talk about, many people, I myself, we ask, Lord, I want to be closer to you. Tuhan, saya mau dekat dengan Tuhan. I want to have a better relationship with you. I know that being with you is the best. Bersama-sama dengan Tuhan itulah yang terbaik yang dapat terjadi dalam kehidupan kita. Pendeta sudah sering bilang itu dan sebagainya. Firman Tuhan. We think that everything is as quickly as God has promised. Tuhan sudah janjikan ya. God has promised many things. Dia sudah janjikan banyak hal. Apa yang misalnya dia janjikan? That I will give them a heart to know me. That I am the Lord, they shall be my people, and I will be their God, for they shall return to me with their whole heart. Wow, janji Tuhan itu begitu hebat. If you want to be with God again, if you want to have a better spiritual life, don't worry. Ya, God will initiate. Tuhan akan membuat langkah pertama, dialah yang akan memberikan kepada kita. Thank God, Tuhan akan memberi kepada kita suatu hati untuk mengenal Dia. We have the heart to know Him. And not only the heart to know Him, the Bible also promised us in Isaiah 50 verse 4, Tuhan Allah telah memberikan kepadaku lidah seorang murid, supaya dengan perkataan aku dapat memberi semangat baru kepada orang yang letih lesu. Setiap pagi ia mempertajam pendengaranku untuk mendengar seperti seorang murid. Oh, God has promised that He will awaken us, membangunkan kita setiap apa? Setiap pagi. I've been challenging myself. And I have been challenging most of you. Ya. Saya membaca satu buku yang dikasih tahu oleh istri saya. Kita sudah pernah bahas tentang buku tersebut ya. That book talks about this author. Ya. He challenged God, Lord, wake me up every morning without alarm clock. Ya. Wake me up at the appointed time. Setiap pagi. Saya baca buku itu sedikit ya, istri saya tunjukkan. And then I challenge God, Lord, I want to experience this. Wake me up at 4 o'clock every morning for me to pray. And He did. And He did. Dia buat itu dia. Wow. Setiap pagi jam 4, tiba-tiba bangun. Untuk apa? Untuk berdoa. Untuk ingat siapa-siapa yang didoakan setiap malam pada saat kita beribadah. Ya. Mengingat siapa yang ada masalah keluarga, masalah di pekerjaan dan lain sebagainya. So God can awaken us every morning. Dan mungkin ada pengalaman Anda semua. But many of you may think, but Pastor, how come you can claim that promise? Bagaimana mungkin pendeta bisa dapatkan janji tersebut, but not me? How can I cannot have that? Bagaimana saya tidak dapat memiliki hal seperti itu? Why it doesn't happen to me? Kenapa? Why it doesn't click to me like that? Kenapa nggak langsung saya bisa memiliki hal itu? Saya minta Tuhan untuk kasih bangun. Waduh, justru terlambat pergi kerja pendeta. Nggak terbangun-bangun sepertinya. Yeah. And we think that God is not concerned with us. And we are disappointed. Disappointed with God. Let's see. What could have come to the heart of Jairus when he was informed, your daughter is dead. Pada saat dia dikatakan, anakmu sudah mati. Apa perlunya lagi engkau menyusah-nyusahkan guru? Ya. Apa perlunya lagi engkau menyusah-nyusahkan guru? Siapa yang bilang ini? Who said this? Someone from his house. Maybe other servant. Yeah. Someone from his house. But this might also be something that is in the heart of Jairus. Yeah. Ini juga mungkin adalah satu perasaan yang dimiliki oleh Jairus. Dia tidak bilang, kamu jangan bilang begitu dong tentang Yesus. Saya masih percaya, saya masih kuat. He did not complain. He agree with what they were saying. Dia setuju dengan apa yang mereka katakan, ya. Anakmu sudah mati, why trouble the teacher? He agree with this statement. And this statement reveals two doubts in the heart of Jairus. Pernyataan ini menampilkan dua doubt. Apa ini? Doubt, keraguan-raguan. Dua keraguan-raguan dalam hati Daud. Daripada hati Jairus. Yang pertama adalah keraguan-raguan tentang siapa Yesus itu. Who Jesus is. Yang kedua, apa yang dapat Yesus lakukan? What can Jesus do? How do we know? Let us compare. Pada saat Jairus bertemu, dia katakan apa? Dia apa yang terjadi dengan dia? Dia fell at his feet and believed if you come and lay your hands on her, she might be what? She might be healed and she will live. At the beginning, he believed that Jesus has the power of healing. Dia percaya Yesus itu bukan hanya guru biasa. Yesus memiliki kuasa untuk apa? Menyembuhkan. Jesus has the power. Probably is the Messiah. Yeah. And he will heal. My daughter will live. Will be healed and live. And now, my daughter is dead. And what about Jesus? He questioned. This is a question on Jesus' identity. Before Jesus was like Messiah, but now teacher, a good teacher, a good teacher with good idea. Yesus hanyalah guru dengan ide-ide yang bagus. Tapi hanya itu sebatas, Yesus itu hanya sebatas guru. Jesus is only a teacher. Yeah. Only a teacher. Dia mempertanyakan apa? Mempertanyakan identitas Yesus. Dan yang kedua, poin kedua, dia bukan hanya mempertanyakan identitas Yesus yang kita akan lihat, dia juga mempertanyakan, meragukan kesanggupan apa ya? Kesanggupan Yesus. Ya. Menyembuhkan, selamat, sembuh, hidup, but now dead. Dead. Ya. Itulah sebabnya Markus 5:35, while he was still speaking, some people come to the ruler, your daughter is dead, why trouble the teacher any further? Yeah. Now, this is it. Pada saat kita tidak mendapatkan what we want, when we do not get what we want, in our disappointment, we question Jesus' identity, we question Jesus' ability. Kita mempertanyakan identitas Yesus dan apa? Kesanggupan Yesus. Ya udah, Yesus gak bisa buat apa-apa. Udah nggak usah resek lah dengan Yesus, nggak usah bikin apa-apa dengan Yesus. Ya. Kenapa? Kata trouble, the word trouble come from the word skulo. Skulo means to skin, to trouble, to annoy. Jadi udah nggak usah ganggu-ganggu Yesus. Do not skin Jesus. Do not go into his skin. Nggak perlu lagi diganggu Yesus itu. He's so busy. He's doing many things. He can heal the bleeding woman, but not. Okay. Udah nggak usah bikin apa-apa. Do not do anything with Jesus anymore. He can do nothing. He has no ability to do something for you. Yeah. Assuming that Jesus has other thing to do, better thing to do, or he's unconcerned. So here, the question is not only identity of Jesus, but the doubt is now concerning the ability or kesanggupan daripada siapa? Kesanggupan daripada Yesus. Apa kira-kira waktu Yesus seperti dibilang remehkan, udah ya cuman guru, kok Yesus kok cuma guru dia. Ya udah jangan usah ganggu-ganggu, nggak bisa bikin apa-apa anyway. Nggak usah ganggu-ganggu dia. Apa kira-kira the response of Jesus? Yesus bilang, ya udahlah, udah pergi aja, nggak mau mereka tolak, udah pergi aja Yesus. Kira-kira begitu? Is that the way Jesus deal with Jairus? With his disappointment, Jesus just leave? The Bible says, we read verse 35 and 36. As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue, to Jairus, do not be afraid, believe. Only believe. In Greek, keep believing. Terus percaya. You are in fear, Anda dalam keadaan takut, keep believing. Keep believing. Yeah. And this is interesting ya. In Indonesia we don't have dan secepatnya atau segera, tapi tidak ada kata secepatnya atau segera. Cuma dikatakan tetapi Yesus tidak menghiraukan perkataan mereka dan berkata kepada kepala rumah ibadat. It doesn't have what in English as soon as. But the English as well in the original say that when Jesus heard what he was saying, as soon as that Jesus deal with it. Yesus apa ya? Yesus deal with the frustration of Jairus. And how do we heal our frustration? How do we heal our fear? The antidote of fear is what? Faith. Keep believing. Yeah. The question is, believe in what? Pada saat Yesus bertanya kepada Jairus, menyatakan kepada Jairus, do not be afraid, jangan takut, percaya saja. Percaya apa? Nah, ini saya suka tanya nih saudara Alfi ini. Kira-kira percaya apa? Apalagi? Power of Jesus? Only the power of Jesus? Believe in what? Percaya terhadap apa? Amen. Identitas, the identity and the ability of Jesus. Tetap percaya siapa Yesus. Anak sudah mati, percaya. Anak masih sakit, percaya. Yeah. Many times we think that we will only believe when the sick is healed, and then that's time for me to believe. But Jesus was saying, even if your daughter is dead, keep believing. Jairus wanted his daughter to be healed. Yeah, to be healed. But for Jesus wanted the daughter of Jairus to be raised from the dead. Untuk bukannya sembuhkan, tapi dibangkitkan. Ya. Itulah the ability, itulah kesanggupan daripada Yesus. Ya. Jesus will deal with the frustration. Jesus will deal with our frustration. How? Bagaimana Yesus kemudian? Yesus bukan hanya bilang, Jesus will not only believe, say, oh you believe in me, believe what I can do. Jesus is not only talking about it. Dia bukan hanya ngomong doang. He do something about it. He do something. What did he do first? Apa yang dia buat? Langsung, anak Jairus bangkit. Sebelum dia bangkitkan, apa yang dia mau lihat dia buat dulu? What would Jesus do first? Apa yang dia akan buat lebih dulu? Pertama kita terus baca ayat 37 dan 38 ya. Verse 37 and 38. Please be in Indonesian. You may be reading in Indonesian. Di Sabat I'll try to focus on the English part ya. Baku-baku ganti itu orang ya. Sabat lalu terlalu banyak bahasa Indonesianya, right Jason? Nah sekarang bahasa Inggrisnya Sadiki. Mark 5:37, 38. And he permitted no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. Remember, Jesus normally don't mention name except the name of his disciples. Only Jairus' name was mentioned, but the disciple was mentioned. Then he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue and saw tumult and those who wept and wailed loudly. Dia tidak memperbolehkan. Ya. Why? Kenapa tidak boleh? Why he did not allow people to see what he will do next? Kenapa kira-kira? Kalau Anda baca di akhir kisah ini, dia bilang, jangan bilang-bilang kepada orang-orang yang melihat apa yang terjadi kemudian. Saya nggak mau spoiler alert nih atau apa ya. Dia suruh, do not tell anybody. But kepada orang Gadara, dia katakan apa? Don't go with me, don't go back with me. Go home, tell your friends, tell your family. What is the difference? Ya, orang-orang kafir itu ya lebih menerima Yesus daripada orang-orang Yesus sendiri. Ya. Itulah sebabnya lebih berguna bagi orang kafir untuk memberitakan Injil. Bagi Yesus allowed the madman of Gadara to spread his experience with Jesus than these Jewish people. Because even though they may see the miracle of Jesus, still they do not believe. So the reason why Jesus did not permit anyone to follow, maybe because Jesus want to be humble. Many people think like that. But no, because Jesus wants only to be in the midst of people who believe. Dia hanya mau berada di tengah-tengah orang yang akan apa? Atau yang percaya atau akan apa? Percaya. Dia nggak mau buang-buang waktu, saudara. He doesn't want just to waste time. He just want to be in the midst of people. And then what did Jesus do? Ya, ayat 37 katakan, and people were wept and wailed loudly. Yeah. And then when he came in, he said to them, why make this commotion and weep? The child is not dead, but sleeping. Nah, ini langsung kita bisa bikin khotbah ya, atau doktrin. The dead people actually they are not what? They are not dead. They are sleeping. You see that Jairus came with a problem. What was the problem? That at first, what happened to the daughter? The daughter was sick. And now the daughter is what? Is dead. Sick, orang yang sakit, wah itu is a big problem. Dead, mati, lebih besar lagi problemnya. Right? We see big and biggest problem that Jesus had to face. In the eyes of human, wow, easy. Mana yang lebih gampang? Which one is easier? To heal the sick or to raise the dead? Heal the sick. But in the eyes of Jesus, what Jesus sees is not what we see. Right? Yang Yesus lihat, dia bukan lagi sakit, dia bukan lagi mati. Jesus did not see him as sick person or dead person. Jesus was looking at her as sleeping person. Lagi istirahat. Nothing compared to sick, nothing compared to dead. So in the eyes of Jesus, all our problem, nothing. Kacang-kacang orang marah. Nothing. Lord, my problem is so big. I have this, I experience this, I have no job, I have no relationship, I have this, I'm being attacked, bro, left and right. I'm doomed. My problem is so great. And Jesus answered, no, your problem is peanut. Peanuts, kacang-kacang. You were just sleeping. He was just sleeping. Can easily be solved. Can easily be solved. Why would Jesus do all of this? Kenapa Yesus harus buat semua ini? Why would Jesus have to wait until the daughter of Jairus is dead? Kenapa Yesus harus membuat sampai Lazarus mati baru dia datang? Why would he wait it? Okay, maybe so you can say, oh, so okay, so the miracle will be greater. He will perform greater miracle than just healing, now raising people from death. Mungkin supaya dia memiliki mujizat yang lebih besar. So the focus, when we want to search for Jesus, the focus is not, whoa, so we can only see the greatness of Jesus. Of course. We may see the greatness of Jesus. We may see the identity of Jesus, His ability. Kita bisa melihat pada saat orang mati, bisa melihat kebesaran Yesus, bisa melihat identitas, apa yang dia dapat lakukan. But most of all, as this title say, when we searching for God, pada saat kita mencari Tuhan, ujung-ujungnya bukan hanya kita mendapatkan Dia, but we know who we really are. Siapa kita sesungguhnya? Siapa kita sesungguhnya? Jadi dia membiarkan, he let the daughter of Jairus die. He let all the commotion and everything. Orang sudah ribut-ribut. Ya, kalau Yesus nggak mau ribut-ribut, datang waktu sakit. Orang ribut kalau mati. Kalau sakit, diam-diam. Jangan kasih susahnya orang lagi sakit. He wanted. But the point is, he did all of this. Dia lakukan itu semua, not only so that we can meet him or see him, but first of all, so that we can see ourselves. How do we know that? Verse 40. And they ridiculed him. Mereka menertawakan dia. But when he had put them all outside, he took the father and the mother of the child and those who were with him. Siapa itu? Petrus, Yohanes, Yakobus, ya. And those who were with him and entered where the child was lying. Dia sedang apa? Terbaring. What is so? Why would I put the red in these words? I mean, in this statement, put red color. The father and the mother of the child. What was before when Jesus mentioned about Jairus? What was he? He has been mentioned repeatedly, consistently as the ruler of the synagogue. 5 times. Mark 5:22, one of the ruler of the synagogue came, Jairus by name. And then in Mark 5:35, he was the ruler of the synagogue, kepala daripada apa? Synagogue. Mark 5 verse 36, the ruler of the synagogue. Mark 5 verse 38, the ruler of the synagogue, ruler of synagogue, ruler of synagogue, ruler 4 times. And now, Jesus did not mention about the ruler of the synagogue. But when he wants to see the glory that will be revealed, he took the father of the child, the father and the mother of the child. Yeah. What does this mean? What was the significance of this shift? Siapa itu ruler? Itu apa yang dia buat. Siapa saya? Saya pendeta. But when he talk about the father of the child, he speak about the relationship that father has with the son, with the daughter. Talks about not what, but who. Ya, itu sedang berbicara tentang apa ya? Relationship, bukan work, bukan title, bukan posisi, but who you really are. You are the father of the child. In other words, yeah. In other words, when we, in our search for God, when we want to improve our relationship with God, He will let us meet Him. But at the same time, He want us to meet ourselves. Dia mau supaya kita bertemu dengan diri kita. Siapa kita? Siapa kita? Ya. Mazmur 139, Mazmur 139, 23, 24. Ya. Ya. In Indonesia, selidikilah aku ya Allah dan kenalah hatiku. Ujilah aku dan kenalah pikiran-pikiranku. Lihatlah apakah jalanku serong dan tuntunlah aku di jalan yang kekal. Search me, of God, and know my heart, because I do not know my own heart. Yeremia katakan, hati itu licik. The heart is evil, wicked. We may easily find the wickedness of others, the sin of others. Kita gampang mengetahui kejahatan orang lain, dosa orang lain, but not our own heart. But not our own heart. Search me. Search me. No, we do not, when we search for God, do not just think about meditating, oh, I want to listen more. Of course, it is something that we have to do. We have to search God, but at the same time, search our heart. Sehingga tidak heran, Amsal 4 ayat 4, bahasa Indonesia katakan apa? Biarlah kamu marah, tetapi jangan berbuat dosa. Berkata-katalah dalam hatimu di tempat tidurmu, tetapi tetaplah dia. Meditate within your heart on your bed, and be still. This is talking about two things. Talking about God, and talking about us. Kenapa? Because when we talk in the Bible, pada saat kita berbicara tentang diamlah, Be still for I am the Lord. Ya, kita diam karena kita untuk mengetahui apa? Siapa Tuhan. Pada saat kita ingin mengetahui siapa Tuhan, at the same time, meditate not only about Tuhan, but meditate within your heart. Bagaimana saya? Sesungguhnya. Meditate on us. Kenapa? Because if we meditate on ourselves, if we meditate on God, seperti Isaiah, seperti Yesaya dalam Yesaya pasal 6, pada saat dia melihat kemuliaan Tuhan, when he saw the glory of God, Prophet Isaiah, what did he say? After he saw the glory of God, what did he say? Lord, depart from me, for I am unclean lips. Pergi dari aku Tuhan, karena aku najis bibir. Najis bibir. Pada saat kita mencari Tuhan, when we search for God, search our heart. Tiliklah hati kita. Tiliklah hati kita. So, Jairus went to search for Jesus. He did not only find Jesus, but also he find himself. And he can see the identity of Jesus and the ability of Jesus. Apa identitas Yesus? Dia pikir tadinya Yesus dari Mesias, now become a teacher. Jesus can heal, but now his daughter died. But then after he found Jesus, after he found God and he found himself, Mark 5:41 says what? Then he took the child by the hand and said to her, Talitha kumi, which is translated, little girl, I say to you, arise. What happened to the people when they were crying and when they heard Jesus say, oh no, he's not dead, she's not dead, she's just sleeping. What did they do? They were what? Laughing at Jesus. But now what happened now? Who has the last laugh? Siapa yang memiliki, yang dapat tertawa terakhir? Who has the last laugh? Verse 42. Mark 5:42. Immediately the girl arose and walked, for she was 12 years of age. And they were overcome with great amazement. Semua orang yang hadir sangat takjub. Ya. A displacement of the mind. What happened blew their mind. Apa yang terjadi itu apa? Blew their mind. Ya. Keheranan and ecstasy. Ya. Ecstasy. Saya mengundang kita semua. Cari Allah. Search God. Search your heart. And at the end, be prepared to be amazed. Saya bawa ini dalam nama Yesus.